Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Morning!
Good morning! How's everyone?
Yay! Welcome. Oh my goodness. So we've been just talking and
We have so much fun.
So much stuff is happening. And
Yeah, if you come early, you get to see the behind the scenes.
Exactly. So what you don't see
Are all these people.
What you don't see on our video is any music, but if you come beforehand, you get quite the concert around here.
You did this
Because
morning anyway.
yes, we did. We were singing all
Singers
kinds
in the
of
house.
silly
All
love
kinds of-
songs.
oh.
And yes.
Yes, very fun. Well, it is February.
It
It's
is.
a month of love.
It's a month of love.
Whatever you think about love, it's
Right.
a month of love.
Self-love,
I love
exactly.
self-love.
And we will talk about that
We're
for
gonna talk
sure.
about that for sure. This
Yeah.
month. Absolutely.
So welcome. We're here at
Your earrings are so perfect. with
aren't
that
they? Of
outfit.
course they're perfect for my outfit.
God, you're
Hello.
You're so funny.
Hello, like she just met me or something. I don't even know. We're here at the Unleash Your Life Studio, 7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona, 85020.
Home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's practice. What were you
Yes,
gonna say?
it is. I was going to say we're in building A1
Oh,
because you'll check out the sign on the door.
yes.
Yes.
We need to redo the sign.
We need to redo the
I
sign.
know
Yes.
so many things.
Again. But I think we're good once that's done.
Yeah, I think so, because you're going to stay pink forever.
I'm going to stay pink for at least
long
another
time.
year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for whatever reason. And though the other day somebody said to me, "Are you going for the skunk look?" Because when I don't put the pink in, it's black and white, right?
Oh,
And yeah, God bless old people. Anyway,
you don't count.
yeah,
Nor do you.
yeah. I was like, well
Okay.
then,
Well, then.
the truth is, and correct me if I'm wrong, the older we get, the less we give a shit about what we say to
Exactly.
people. Yeah. I mean, it's like, seriously, like this
Exactly.
woman said it to me and she saw nothing wrong in saying it to me and I just laughed because, okay. Yeah.
I had a client who was well into her 80s. And when I used to do nails and I had the salon and stuff, and another customer they were so loud. And they were like really being rude. And my client's over there like,
Trying
just like trying to getting more and more upset about it. And I'm thinking to myself, I thought, let's just move back over to this area. So I moved us because I could tell
You
it was
can get
an
in the
issue.
way for
Oh, it's
coffee.
okay. They all know you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
And then when we got up to move, I said, why don't we just go into this other area, that kind of thing. Like, I'm just trying to play it cool, right? She gets up and she's like, sure. She gets up and as she walks by, she leans over and whispers something very rude into other tech's ear.
Oh my goodness.
And then that tech started crying. And then we get back into and I'm like, oh my goodness, we get back in the room. I said, I don't want to say her name, God rest her soul, she's now in heaven. But I said to her, oh my gosh, you know what? She goes, I am older than God and I can say whatever I want to say. That's what she said to me. I was like, okay, I have to grant that because
Yeah.
at some point
you
come on,
have
Just the point.
yes.
yes.
Barb says that's the point, right?
I know.
At some point, you have lived enough life and dealt with enough crap that you just go, look,
I'll just say it how
And one of the things I have to say about that is we are here to live our best lives.
yes.
We are here to live life out loud and be authentic.
Yeah.
And if authentically this woman felt that my hair looked skunk-like, then
Then go for it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's better than honestly.
She didn't say I smelled like a skunk.
This is important information.
Yeah.
it's better than living life and never saying those things.
Right.
And I can remember talking to my dad about that at 78 years old, and he was sneaking a cigarette because so nobody knew, and I caught him.
Mhm.
And I remember saying, and I said, Dad, were you smoking? And he was like, no, I was doing, I said, Dad, just, I don't care. Just,
Right.
were you
Just
smoking? And he goes, well, yeah. I said, okay, just, at what point in your life do you just say, look, I want to smoke cigarettes and I don't care if you were all mad at me. I'm going to smoke.
Yeah.
It's what I want to do. Like, you're an adult. You're 78 years old. At what point do you just say,
hiding that you're smoking from
this
your
is
kids.
who I am. Get over it. And he was
Instead of
like,
the other way around.
he just looked at me like, I don't know. And I thought, wow, this is not good. At what point do you just, so I'm glad we've declared this now. Like, just be who you are. Your people will find you. If people don't like what you're doing, whatever, but just be honest about it.
You don't have to be different.
That. I know.
Well, now that we've given you a short
So we're
talk,
done for today. Thank you so much.
we should pray in and see what else we have to say today.
All right, let me pray us in.
All righty.
Oh, look at the bowls there.
Yay.
Oh, let's do a grounding, centering breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your body in the chair. Come into this moment, settled, calm, at peace, recognizing there is one power, one presence, one life, one divine energy. We call that God. We call that first cause. It is all there is. It is love. It is joy. It is peace. It is perfect, whole and complete. And we are each an expression of that one thing. We are each made of sparkly God stuff. We are unique manifestations of the one. We are also that love, that peace, that joy. We are also whole, perfect, and complete. And from my place of knowing my truth, I speak my word into the law for the good of this service today, for our time together, for everyone here, hearing my voice and beyond. I know that as we allow ourselves to be in this moment together, as we allow ourselves to open up to the ideas and the sharing and the laughter and the joy and the connection, I know that we release everything before we step into this time together boldly and receive what is ours to receive. And I know that as we leave today, we are blessed to share all of that beyond ourselves, beyond this space today. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm grateful for being a part of it. I'm grateful to share in this. And so I let it go and know and trust that it is already done in the mind of God. And together we say,
And so it is.
Thank you. So welcome to February, right? We're finally here because January was a whole year in itself.
No kidding, right?
Why is that always the longest month of the year? I just
Well, it is
don't
31
know.
days. First of all, it's got an extra.
Right, and so
Little bit
and this
bigger,
is a little
feels like-
shorter month because
I
it
know
only has 28 days.
It hogged the extra.
Yeah. We had, I just want to give a shout out again and thank Reverend Dr. Jerry
that
Trower for
was
being
so
on the sofa
fun
last week. It
Come
really
on.
was. And what a great workshop, too.
He's so adorable.
He is. He is amazing. We have had such a, already great start to the year.
Well, you have to see that. Yeah, that was, wow. Already in January, we've had
Yeah.
him on the sofa. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good. I'm
we
good.
are there. So for those of you that didn't get to participate, or maybe you haven't, I see some in the room, haven't finished your magazine. My magazine's
Let's
not
say what
finished.
it is for those of you that don't know.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
This is our what do we call it? Manifest Journal?
Yeah,
Manifest magazine.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I have really worked on
It's so
mine.
good.
You can see how thick it is,
Love it.
and
Isn't she adorable?
I've colored and I
Wow.
put my little pages on. So I wanted to bring mine in, and here, would you pass that around for me so you guys could see it?
If you're a member of,
sorry.
if you're a partner, if you're a Sofa Sundays partner and you did not get to come to that event, you could have one of those journals. I can give it to you. You could just create your own.
Yes.
So
So
let me
you
know.
could create your own.
We do
So
have extra journals.
that was fun. But
that we've made into magazines.
speaking of journals,
Oh,
we have journals this year.
I know.
For those of you that
partners.
are partners, and they are our Begin Within. And you're like, where's my card, Jeannie? Well, talk to Michelle.
I didn't do it.
It didn't get done this time, but you know what? This happens
So busy.
time to time. So we've decided that
We're just gonna order the whole.
we're
year.
going to order the whole
So
year.
Michelle doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, but today's is I live in the harmony of love.
Yes.
And the harmony of love was happening earlier today.
I know.
We have a musician in the house, Adam Smith, and he joined us, and we're all wonderful singers here on the sofa. And
It just happens
some of us,
naturally.
yeah, it just is, and
It's a beautiful thing.
it is a beautiful thing.
But can we just say what we're plotting?
We
I
can
can't
say what
hardly
we're. Yeah, I know
stand
you can't
myself.
hold it anymore. Go ahead, tell them what we're plotting.
We're plotting a spring concert. We've already got several yeses.
Yes, we have no date
Poor
yet.
Adam
but-
walked in and we bombarded him.
Yeah.
He's been signed. We're like, hey, yes. we'll have-
That was my manifestation.
Oh, I
thank
love
you,
that.
Adam. Good job.
I
Good,
love
Melissa.
that.
Good job. Marcy's already said yes. And we're very
Right.
excited
Jennifer
about that.
Sheets.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we're gonna ask Cerise.
Yes, we'll say.
Cerise,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Yes, it's coming at you,
Get
girl.
ready, girl, because you don't get to say no. Just say
Yeah, and
Yes,
sisters
well,
in spirit.
yes. Sisters in spirit. That Deborah doesn't know that either. But
Right,
I'm gonna...
Deborah, get ready.
Sorry, Deborah.
And if you guys feel
just
like
plan,
you're
plan.
surprised, you should watch us more often and hear what we're planning for you.
Yeah. We
Um,
so that concert is going to be free to all
Yeah.
of our partners.
To all of our partners, but the
partners.
rest you're going to have to pay money.
I know. So become a partner,
So-
then you just can get the concert
They're for free.
Because
These are the great
Yes.
things we offer.
right, and we're gonna 10x this year. We're
Yes.
massive effort and action this year. We're very
Yeah,
excited.
that's-
We have so many plans.
Our business best friend has 10x'd us.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
I love
Oh my
this so much.
Isn't
Isn't it great?
beautiful?
I just had so much fun. I did spend way more out. So we only had a couple of hours here when we were
I
doing
know
those.
it does take longer.
I think I spent 8 hours after that on that. So yeah.
Well, you know what's so
they do
beautiful
take a little
about
bit.
having a manifestation magazine like that is then now you're in your visioning time, which you should do morning and night as part of your morning and evening rituals. Is you just all you have to do is look through it,
Yeah.
and the visions are there that reminds you.
And Dakota will tell you, I have it with me with
Yeah.
my journal
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff. And
beautiful.
so I have, so I
Plus,
have
it's
that
fun to
looking at.
create.
Mhm.
It's fun to have that. It's all of your 100%. If you look at every area of life and you pick what do I want at the max, the best I could think of, that's
Right.
what you have in there. It's so fun.
So
Yeah.
yeah, lots of fun stuff. So I can't wait to see how that happens.
I know.
So I have a reading that I found
Yes.
that goes with our I live in the harmony of love.
Yes.
So this is from Unity's publication, The Daily Word.
Thank you, Unity.
Yes, from September and October of last year. And it is September 10th, actually. And it's called Harmony. Love restores harmony to every corner of my life. A lack of harmony is a call for love. The great healing force in the universe and the very nature of God. And just want to stop there for a second and reread that. A lack of harmony is a call for love. Thank you. The great healing force in the universe and the very nature of God. Because I feel that that is what is needed right now in our world.
Yeah.
When I want to restore harmony within myself, my relationships, or the world around me, I place my hands over my heart, feeling the rhythm of every beat. And remember that as a child of God, my very nature is love.
Amen.
Discord has no place in this sacred space I create in my heart. I center myself in divine love. I clothe myself with the garment of truth and trust that the manifestation of my good is assured. The world within me and the world around me respond to the love I radiate. I am in balance, and I feel grateful for perfect harmony and the many ways it shows up in the world. Above all, clothe yourselves in love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Colossians 3:14.
I love that.
So I was just struck by, we have a book for this month that I don't have yet. It's supposed to be coming today. And I was like, I need a reading. And when I picked this up and Soul Harmony, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Always is. We always get the readings just get
Yeah.
somehow delivered to us.
Oh, how usual.
Oh,
Yeah.
how usual.
I know.
Speaking of harmony, again, last night, I had the amazing privilege, my partner and I, we went to a house concert and saw Karen Drucker. And our friend Marcy also participated in singing with Karen. And when you hear Marcy do harmony with anyone, the vibration, the frequency is lifted to a level that, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now, like a level that Jennifer Sheets and I were talking about this, that breaks you open. When that type of frequency is in the air, whether it is through music or prayer or meditation or puppies, whatever it's through, when you walk into a place or you're in a place where that vibration is raised and it breaks your soul open, that experience is nothing more than miraculous. And I got to experience that last night, and it was so delicious. It really was. It was just so delicious. And it was a great potluck too. There was good food. So
Which is
yeah,
important.
it's very important.
Just signs and minders. We
With
need
it.
to
Yes.
use.
Yeah.
What's coming to me about that is how often do we have these moments, these experiences in life that come through, but because we're not present, we don't catch it, or we don't feel that harmony because we're over here worried about something else or thinking about something about to happen,
Like Ferris Bueller saying, if you're not paying attention, you might miss it.
If you're not paying attention, you might miss it, says Anne from Ferris Bueller. That's true.
Yeah.
Just got chills.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. That got me. Yeah, because we had my sister's in town. My sister Jennifer from Seattle is in
Sister's
town.
in town.
I know.
Sister.
I know. Well, her husband's a preacher.
Oh,
too,
that's
and
right.
Speaking
He's
this
speaking
morning.
somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes and he just all he has to do is say, "I'm going to be in town," and everybody wants him to come
Right.
speak. He spoke last night. He's speaking. He's always he's a minister also.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went to dinner. My other sister works at this pizza place, and so she said, "Well, I get off around 8. If you guys want to come in, we can just have a big table and we can all hang out." So 3 families were all there. All 3 of my younger kids showed up. Trey was like, "Well, I don't know because I don't know if I'm going to do." And then but he came anyway, which I kept thinking, like, what? Your aunt's only here so many days. Like, what's more important than this? I don't understand how people think sometimes, but he showed up and he was only going to stay for a minute. Right? I'm just coming.
So
through
3
for a
hours
minute.
later. Yeah.
Exactly. And then my poor husband, who had worked from first thing in the morning up until that moment, had worked all day, like longer than he was supposed to. He was supposed to get off at 2, and he's actually worked until I think 7. I mean, he was exhausted, but he came too. So there was a moment in that scene where I sat in this. Have you ever done that where everybody's talking? The little groups are talking and I wasn't talking to anybody, and I just sat there in that moment and I felt all of that. I looked at all and I thought, this is what I live for right here. This feeling, this moment, and I didn't want to miss it. And I didn't talk to anybody. I just sat and enjoyed it. Watched my Trey, my older one, sit talking to his cousin, my sister's daughter, Gabrielle, having these they're the same age. Actually, I found out I was pregnant with him, I think a day before Jennifer went into labor with her. And I had helped birth both of her children. So everybody's like, no, you be careful. And I'm like, I'm not going to lose a baby trying to birth a baby. Like, I'm not birthing the baby. I'm helping to birth. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. But so anyways, they're so close, those two, because they're only 9 months apart in age. And then watching the twins with their cousin, my other sister's youngest child, they're the same age. They're like the Three Musketeers. Put the three together and they're like, and they're over here. We put them at the end of the table because they are laughing and having all this stuff together. And then my husband's talking to Nathan, and they're having this whole conversation. And I'm just in this moment, like, no one's talking to me, and I'm just like
soaking it up.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want to be creating in my family. Like, I want this
Right.
all the time. So this feeling, we have to stop sometimes. And we have to pay attention and notice. Get off your phone. Like, stop that. Just be in this space and look around you, because oftentimes we have this, but we're not seeing it.
Right. We're not present to it. Yeah.
We're worried about something or whatever, or so-and-so said so. Like, no.
Right.
Look for those moments, because they're everywhere all the time.
And there's easier ways to get yourself present like that. We talk about, first thing in the morning. I don't know how many people have this happen where your brain woke up before you. And it's like, I've been waiting for you. Do you know what's going on today? We got stuff to do. And so, like, that's a time period where before anything happens, I have a little orange cat that comes up first thing in the morning, and I pet her, and she purrs, and she gets mad at me and goes away and comes back, and
games,
sometimes I give her too much love and she doesn't like it, and she'll go away, and then she comes back because she knows that I know how to pet her ears right.
Yeah, see? Mm-hmm.
I mean, it happens. But that gives me a chance to stop the brain from telling me everything that's going to happen in the day, and get present in the moment. And I think that, has been a lifesaver type of thing for me over the last decade or so, because what used to happen previously was my brain was up before me. It has made all these plans, and then I wake up angry. I'm, already in a space that is, I got to go to work and, whatever, like, this is done. And, we have an older cat who doesn't always go to the litter box, and so there are time periods I wake up and, there's been little presents left for me that I step in.
Gifts,
little gifts. And, so this one day last week, and most of I've had surgery. So, like, I'm not exactly, moving around as quickly as possible. And I step in it and, I get a little slippy. And I'm like, and all I can do is laugh, because it's like first thing in the morning. My partner's still asleep. I'm trying to get coffee. It's right on the way. So now I got to clean my foot, the floor, the whole thing, I'm telling you, to the point now that we're Fabulosa, like, makes me want to go a little, because I'm cleaning with it all the time, right? And so I laugh because there had been this thing on Facebook, and it was a question: what's the worst thing to step in the middle of the night? Step on, and most people put Legos, right?
Oh, those hurt.
They do.
Oh, those hurt.
But I'm going to tell you, cat poop. Cat poop is, cat or dog poop is one of them. Yeah, that's, a Lego.
Or a scorpion, that's not a good time.
Oh, no.
I had a
That's
client
true.
who did that in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
not a good time. No.
So I just had to laugh and clean it up and stuff. And what that reminded me of is that, there's this thing, when we've talked about this before, about spilling the coffee.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Somebody bumps into you, you spill the coffee. Why'd you spill the coffee? Because you had coffee.
In the cup.
Right. And if you had water, you would have spilt the water.
Right.
And so it was one of those things that I wasn't angry. I laughed.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest way to wake up, but I was awake. I'm alive. I'm grateful. I love my cat. I'm not a fan of that.
Right.
Right.
But
But
she's old, and you know what she's going through. That's all you can do.
it's, it's like, I'm okay inside today. Where if that had happened 10 years ago, that cat would have went out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Bye-bye. So there is a difference in how I perceive my world today.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that realization about that. And I think that's something to also be noticing about yourself. Like, oh, look at how I can laugh that off,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and give yourself that self-love, that self-grade. Like, wow, you're doing great. You're moving through. Like, you know, I know people who will do that. Like, well, I'm better than I would have been last time. Like,
Right.
last time I lost it. This time I'm like, okay, it's all right. It's not the end of the world. That's just, and I think we're all growing and we're all trying to live in harmony and love. No one wants to live in discord, and nobody wants that feeling.
Right.
But if you don't know another way or how to move out of it, or know that we don't have to live there. Some people don't realize you don't have to be there. You
Because
don't have
we'll
to
live
be
in
discord.
reaction. Because
Yeah.
we react
Yeah.
versus responding.
Yeah.
And we think, well, I had no choice. This happened, I had no choice. How do you expect me to respond? How do you expect me to be? And it's like, okay, you do have a choice.
You always have a choice.
And I don't know that I always knew that, but now, and I'm not saying that I always pick the right reaction or response.
So we still are having a human experience.
Yes.
But
that's
as up level, or as as much beginning inside and working on this as we can, we're still having a human experience, and those moments still come up.
I think
bite us sometimes.
I think I've shared this before. I remember a couple of years ago that something happened in my kitchen. I spilled something, and I laughed and thought, if somebody was here, I would have had a response. Like I would have been like, but nobody was home when it happened. So I didn't need that
drama.
Right. I didn't have to have exactly. There was nobody there to witness my drama. So I didn't have it. And man, was that a light bulb thing. How I was seeking that type of attention for something, and so it has been a growth thing. Apparently I have kitchen issues. If it happens in the kitchen, I have an issue with it. So I'm working through that. Yeah.
Right.
I did get a little burn. Speaking of that,
Goodness, stop that right now.
I was making hot dogs the other day and
hot dogs are so
burnt
cute.
my arm.
So funny.
You need an aloe plant.
I have two.
You got two also.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I think living in the harmony of love with this month in particular, I know there's lots of different things that people have about love, and it's before we even start. I think instead of being reactive or being like, oh, I know this is going to come, you're already ready for it, whatever it is, whatever you've decided it was going to be. Instead, maybe look like, it reminds me of Mr. Rogers saying that in times of, like when he was watching the news, remember this quote? He's watching the news and he was seeing all this horrible stuff and he was so scared. And his mom said, don't look at that. Look for the heroes. There's always heroes. Like always look for the good side of things. Even though it looks so bad, there's always the other side. Everything's like a coin. There's always the heads or the tails, and you decide which way you're going to look at it. So even in life, going through and whatever comes up for you in the area of love and whatever predetermined feeling you're going to have about it, I would encourage you this month, just practice, just try to see what you can do to maybe look at the other side.
Right.
Don't already determine that, this is going to happen
because
so I'm going to feel this way.
Because it's Valentine's month. Right.
And
so we
every
think
time
of
I do this happens.
Right.
And I'm not going to, maybe look for signs of the opposite if it's had a negative situation for you or you're not feeling the love. Maybe look for another sign of it,
Right.
Because what you're focusing on, you will experience. You will be the magnet for that, and you'll just prove yourself right. So why wouldn't you want to prove yourself right towards something that makes you feel good instead of proving myself? I can be right all day long. I can say, people suck and the world's awful and everything's I could do that all day long. There's rightfully many things I can look at right now that would prove me right.
Absolutely.
And then I could feel that way all day. And what's the point of anything? Because I could go down this rabbit hole and everybody's nodding their heads because we can all do this. And I'm sure we all have done it. And at the same time, people can be awesome. Humans can be amazing and they do amazing things. And there's so many amazing good things that are happening every day. And if I choose, I can choose to look at that and give my energy and my power to that, which will do what? it creates more of that, right? So when we're all focusing on whatever we're upset about, negative, remember that when you are a powerful being. And the more that you use your power to focus on negative things, you are creating more of the very thing you don't want.
Right.
So you have to remember that. You can't, so many people live life not realizing their power, and then they're using it against what they, it's just funny to me. But those of us in this room, we're all awake. We know.
Right. We know that
you have that innate power, that's who you are. And so to go about the day and using it in a negative way or to support negative things, I think this month especially, let's practice the next, 28 days this month. Let's just say, like, I did dry January. I'm going to keep going because I feel good about that. So what if with this month we did no negativity? And you just focus on looking for all the good, look for the love, look for the harmony, look for where that is instead. What if you just practice 1 month and just see what happens?
Start over 1,000 times a day.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, because we are so programmed. Every time you look at your TV or any of your shows, any of the news things, they're constantly shoving it in your face. So it's not your fault if that's what you think, if you're scared, if you're worried, if you're whatever. It's a constant thing. I'm not saying don't be aware, but let's look for the good stuff. There's so much.
Right, because you can have the ability of seeing what's coming up,
Like, okay.
and then practice maybe not having a reaction to it. Yes, that is happening. One of the things when you were talking about, seeing the love or being the love, again, get here early because you miss a lot that doesn't happen here. Just the conversations that were happening in reference to our tribes and that type of thing. And, what over the last couple of years, 2 holidays come to mind that remind me that we've created holidays to acknowledge our tribes, our friends, right? Valentine's Day, we have Galentine's Day, right? Where we've decided, and because I do think that for the majority, women are the ones that feel a little less, happy when they don't have a date on Valentine's Day. I'm not dissing testosterone at all. I'm just saying that, so having a Galentine's Day and supporting your female friends that way, I love. And then Friendsgiving.
I love that.
Right? How many times that people are like, oh, there's a holiday, right, that I need because sitting with, not everybody has 3 sets of family that they're sitting there enjoying.
I know,
right? So I love that, as a culture, we have decided to acknowledge and celebrate these friendships that we have, that, grow. And I mean, we're all within the same kind of age frame here. Like growing up, there was, no, Barb, we know, Barb.
I was thinking the same thing you were
Yeah,
thinking.
stop it. We're in that, look, boomers, I'm just saying, right?
Calm down, boomers.
Just calm down, boomers.
X-Gen right here. X-Gen in the house.
Yeah, that's right.
We have the floor. We have the sofa.
There was that, competition among girls growing up. And I'm sure I didn't know it, but I think that the boys had the same thing. Like, who's the bigger jock? Who's the bigger jerk? I don't know. Whatever, right? Exactly. So that, that competitive thing that you deal with as you're coming up, as in, in grade schools and high school and stuff. Look, people, I'm just going to let you know, Lace, true. You don't peak in high school, okay? The world, it happens after 18, I promise you.
No kidding.
The next,
so much more.
Yeah, there's so much
so
more.
much more to life. High school is not be
all
all end all.
Exactly.
No.
So the thing
It feels that way.
it does.
It is not though.
Yeah.
Those
But
people, half those people you'll never see again.
right. Here I am 40 years later. I know 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah,
And you don't want to see them
But
again.
they
Exactly.
feel doesn't even matter.
But these people, their opinions, we were all trying to make sure
They
that
liked us.
Karen Drucker last night was sharing something that, what she was trying to be in the youth, which was opposite than her curly red hair. We all tried to be something different. And now, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? We go, we are who we are in this authentic personhood, right? And then there's where the harmony and love happens, right? Because now you know the real me. I'm not trying to be somebody different. I'm not trying to impress you or compete with you.
Right. There's no imposter syndrome.
Right. I'm going to help you with your crown because I want you to help me with mine.
Right.
And that's a whole different world than it was in high school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're very, very afraid to be vulnerable who you were because they could use it against you. I've even taught my particularly lyric, like you don't just tell another girl everything. You don't just say certain things because as soon as they're not your friends, which could happen tomorrow, they'll use that very thing against you. Don't give them anything to use against you like that. Talk to me about those things. But don't
know who you're
because girls can turn on a dime. And girls are emotional fighters and she's had some issues with that, but so I feel like you're so right. As we come into adulthood and we start to, I think the most important thing is be as authentic as possible, even if it feels really difficult.
Yeah.
To be as real as possible. You may lose everybody that you know now. And that's scary.
That is scary. They weren't your people.
They're not your people. And wait till you find your people who you could just be you could be the real thing. And they're like, love you.
Yeah.
They love you for that. And it doesn't matter what you say or how you say it. They're just, oh my gosh, there's nothing like that feeling.
Dakota says to me all the time, well, you picked me. And I go, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Full aware of what she was picking.
For me, it's like, you picked me.
Yes.
I mean, there's, and you got to wonder. Yeah. And you got to wonder what she was thinking, right?
Yes.
But that's
especially in a romantic situation, there's nothing like your partner being able to know everything, and then you love them anyway. Like that's like the ultimate.
Exactly.
And then your family and your friends, I think I could say anything to my tribe, and I'm not worried, which is so different from when I was younger. A lot of things I kept to the chest, and I maybe told one, if any, certain things that I thought might make you change your mind about me.
Right, and
that's a scary way to live.
Yes,
that's not harmony.
No,
you might be keeping love. everything easy, but it's not harmony, and it's not love.
It's not love.
And if somebody loves you, but they love the you that you've created for them, that's not love. Yeah, that is also not love, and that's a scary way to live. I mean, we just what's the point of that? I don't know. What's the point of that? Being something hiding. Like my dad hiding that he's smoking. What's going to happen, Dad?
Protection. It's like you're protecting yourself from something bad you think is going to happen.
Right.
Someone's judgment.
Yeah.
Adam says protecting yourself from other people's, what'd you say, judgment? You said
something
judgment.
bad.
Something bad that you think is going to happen if you're, And when do we, I was saying to my 70-year-old dad, when do you at some point just say, I don't care.
Right.
I'm going to smoke cigarettes. This is who I am. And love me or not, that's up to you, but this is who I am. I'm going to do that. I'm 78 years old. Like what? At what point do you wait till you're that 78 years old before you finally just be honest? I mean, that's a long time to wait.
Right.
Be who that is now. You're going to find the people that match that, and it's going to feel so much better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that, and that's the harmony when we talk about it, right? That level that you can operate with more than one frequency, but they're complementary and that they work together versus opposing each other.
Right.
We've all heard that song, right? When somebody is just off a little, you've all heard me sing. So, just throws it off every once in a while and stuff. Yeah. And so, but it can be shocking to the system when we're not in harmony, whether it's with ourselves or in a scenario, a situation, when things aren't balanced in a way, even when you're making food, right? You
Oh,
see
yeah.
something and you're like, well, I love sushi and I love Mexican, but I don't want them together. Right? You know, like that's a thing.
Sushi.
Or when they hold on, can we get a microphone up here, please? Or when they make something so spicy that all you can taste is the spice. Like that's somebody who doesn't understand balance of something like that, right? It shouldn't be only the hot. Like that's supposed to be like to enhance everything else, not be the only thing. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you talk about food because if I'm complaining and then I start to make food, then I stop because then I know the frequency goes into the food.
Oh yeah.
Like how people pray over their food, you know, and that like gets me to okay, like I can't complain now because I don't want to like eat like negative food.
Right.
Or drink negative water.
Like I'm spitting, you know, I'm like putting the complaints into the food and it's like going into my body.
Right.
It's interesting how those things, like when you think about it, it's like, or like water.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, so.
Yeah, they've done studies on that, how you talk to water in different ways and how it responds. Like that's incredible. But everything is energy. We're affecting everything. Our movements, our thinking, we're affecting everything around us. So I guess what do you want to be creating?
Right. Or eating.
Or eating, for
Right.
example, or drinking.
When
What do
you
you want?
said-
What are you feeding yourself?
Yeah. When you said
Yeah.
that, it reminded me, I was in a fight with somebody and then we decided to forgive each other. And I do it because that wasn't really happening. And then
I could tell that's what
that's what their quotes were, right? And then I made steaks on the grill and I destroyed these steaks. And they were good steaks too. And I just destroyed them. And he was like, and this is the worst food you've ever made, you know? And I'm like, I know, you know, like, that's what you get. It was
Hate
hate
steaks.
Exactly.
Hate steaks.
That's what they were, hate steaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, when you said that, I was like, and then I think of that movie, like Water for Chocolate.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
movie.
and
What a
that's
good
how you make
movie.
food. And anyway, moving on.
I think we're hungry. Are we close to lunch yet? What's
All right, I don't know. We got some scones here.
I know, right? No, but when the self-harmony, the self-love too, you said a little bit about that. Like when you're not in harmony with yourself.
Right.
That I think is your first stop there.
Yep.
First stop on the, love bus is the self.
Yeah.
And to check that harmony meter within, so everything is beginning within. If you're not in harmony with yourself or in discord internally, you're going to spill.
Right. Because you're going to spill the coffee.
You're going to spill the wrong coffee. Or
Yeah.
You're going to step on cat doo-doo and you're going to be upset, right? Instead of laughing at yourself. Right. So it's beginning within and checking where in my life, what parts of my life am I not being authentic, or I'm not showing up from myself, my in discord, not in harmony with my true nature and who I truly am. Where is that? And that's a great thing. That's a great thing to look at and then adjust accordingly.
Right.
Because you're creating from there.
Right. Exactly. So you're creating from there. So, we all have those time periods where maybe we've had a bad dream or a rough night's sleep or whatever.
I had a bad night's sleep last night.
Yeah, man, I didn't
having bad, weird dreams.
I didn't go to bed till midnight.
And that's sleep.
That's like,
we stayed up late.
Yeah, it's like crazy to stay up late.
I'm a little baggy this morning because I'm like, I didn't eat it.
Oh my goodness!
I know. Look at it.
So
weird night. Yeah.
So then you wake up and you're like, okay, I gotta get moving. And sometimes, especially now that I'm back on a schedule and I go to work, it's like if I have overslept or something, now my regular routine is cut short and that's aggravating, right? And so I have to watch that. Like, am I going to get up and not do my dance? Am I going to get up and just be stomping around, and making, upset noises, right? because
It's funny how everybody's like, yeah.
they know it, right? Like
I
we
know
all
those
know
upset
that
noises.
upset noise type of thing, right? Or am I going to take that second, or two, and come into my heart and into my gut, my intuition, and get into balance, right? And that really is that simple for me, is that breathing. Okay.
Right.
Get myself centered, and then move from there, move from that energy. It's like, okay, whether it's Monday or Sunday, it doesn't matter. Am I moving in love? Am I moving in harmony?
Right.
Am I moving with the creativity of source energy, making, the way for me?
Right.
And you can believe in that or not, right? But what I will say is, if you believe in that, you will see that. And if you don't believe in that, well, you'll get that too.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever it works like that.
You're creating it.
You're creating it.
Yeah.
So believe you're creating it or not, that's what you'll get.
It's still there.
Yep.
You can believe you're the creator of your experience or not, but you still are.
Right.
You still are. And you're gonna, you can intentionally, purposefully create that, or you can just let it,
Happen.
create by default, whatever, and think that it's happening to you. And that's what you'll experience. So it's definitely, you're the boss in here,
Yeah.
Decide how you want to do it. I'd rather live an intentional life than one by default.
Right.
I'd rather be creating and purposefully say, this is what I want to experience, so then I'm going to be doing this.
So what happens, Michelle, if you forgot in the morning to do that, and now it's 10, 11 o'clock and you haven't eaten anything and people are annoying you? What can you do?
I can still stop, take a breath, get myself centered and grounded in the present moment.
So you don't have to chuck the day off like it was a diet.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, I already had a
The
cookie.
whole day's ruined.
Yeah, whole day's
Whole
ruined.
day's a shot.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
at any time you can pull yourself into the present
exactly.
moment.
So
Anytime.
that's I think something that we need to remember, that each moment is a fresh new baby moment that you can have, and you can at any point stop that from continuing and bring it back in.
And just like Greg Braden said, every second, every breath, you are deciding where you're going by your thinking. He said it differently. He said it more eloquently than that. That's basically what he was saying.
With that hair.
Yeah, you're yeah, I know, he has a lot of hair. You're either breathing life, right? Or you're breathing the opposite of that. You're either moving forward to this abundance, we're experiencing all the things that you want to be experiencing, or you're not. So every breath, every time you're thinking of anything, are you positive or negative? It's not too difficult. Does it feel good or feel bad? Does it feel in harmony or discord? Like, which one are you, what is it, the wolf you're feeding? Which one are you feeding? That's who's going to show up. So if you're surprised that, negative things are happening in your life, whatever that is, you're deciding that it's negative. That's stepping on, that could be, most people would say that's a negative thing to happen in my morning. First thing, that would be a negative thing. You laughed at it. You decided it wasn't. You decided it wasn't funny.
Right.
In that moment, you chose.
So that, and it was a natural decision.
Yeah,
humor, because humor is one of my core values. So it was a natural decision to find that funny to me. Because if it was somebody else, I would have been laughing. Okay, so what made it different than it was me, right?
So funny.
Truthfully, come on now, that is funny.
And I felt like I have a puppy in the house. He's a year old now, but he's still little and he looks like a puppy. And the other day he pooped in the house, and he's funny because he can't let himself out, right? So if he needs to go, sometimes he doesn't think to go and scratch on the door so that we know he needs to go. He doesn't bark. I don't know what's the difference, why sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But you catch him because he runs over, and I can tell he's doing something. The next thing you know, he's starting. And I yelled at him one time about it. I was mad about it, and then you could see that he was upset.
Yeah.
And I know people don't think that they have upset. I don't know that they think like we do, but he could definitely tell that I was upset about that.
Right. He could tell your tone.
He wasn't supposed to do that,
And
but he couldn't help it.
But he was, and then he was like looking at me like, and then I thought, okay, I don't like that reaction. I don't want him to be anxious and like, I don't want that. That wasn't cool. He made a mistake. So the next time he did that, I said, no, Ozzy. And I put him outside. I said, poo-poo out here. And then, now he's scratching the door a little bit better. Not saying he's perfect. He still will every once in a while make a mistake in the house. But I saw the reaction, and that was not the reaction I wanted. That is not what I want.
Right.
I want him to react. I want him to feel loved and feel cherished and feel safe and feel, I want him to feel like that. And we should. So if you make a mistake, you're not that.
Right.
Like what?
So
That's not the messaging I want to be creating
Right.
for my puppy, nor is it the messaging I want to create for myself.
Right. Or anyone around.
Right. So it's such a practice because most of us have not had that given to us. So a lot of us are moving by default through programming from teachers, parents, all who didn't have this kind of talking going on to where they could explore that part of themselves. So they did the best they could. I have no shame or blame on anybody else. But now it's my responsibility to notice, what am I putting out? What am I spilling on everybody else? Is it coffee? Is it water? Like, what is it? And then see those reactions. What did I want to be creating? Oh, that wasn't it.
Right.
Okay, then I need to change this in here so that I'm spilling something else out there and creating something else. I want anybody in my vicinity to feel safe, loved. They could tell me anything. I want that.
Right. I want to spill effervescent joy bubbles on you.
There it is.
Right. Like that's what I want to spill.
Right.
I want to have that. But there are time periods that you're saying that, if we're not in the present moment, then, we're all this, that, and the other thing. We're thinking about all this stuff. And then we,
yell at a puppy,
yell at my
yell at
kitty,
your cat.
and it's like, oh no, that's not what I meant to be,
Yeah.
So that's when we can start over. And so I love that we don't have to toss the day away or the hour or the minute even. Like we can start over
in the next breath.
And,
you can fix it in the next breath.
And knowing that we are safe and protected, by ourselves and by source energy. So
100%. I love that.
I do too.
No. Any comments from the gallery? Anyone? They're all like, I know exactly what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
Exactly what our call to action is.
Call to action. So we have a no negativity month.
No negativity month. Let's try it.
Can we do
Let's
it?
report back.
Yeah. All right.
I got some thumbs up. I love
All
it.
right. I love it.
Sense of humor is important.
Sense of humor helps.
It really is. It is.
Laugh it off.
Man, that can change everything when you can laugh at it. Yeah.
Right. It can. And our energy is powerful. So we want a different energy. We want different things that we're seeing. We want a different outcome for things. And let's all put our energies together and put that out in the world.
Right. Raise the frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have our calling.
We can do that.
We have our calling.
I'll be the star of my own sitcom.
There you
right?
go.
I love that.
Star
That's what I always say. I star in all my memories.
No kidding, right? Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Wow. Well, I'm excited. We have lots coming up.
We
So
do.
It was so fun. So let's, but before we do that, you want to pray us out?
I will pray us out. Yes.
Pray us out. All right. Here we go.
All right. So up to you, but if you feel comfortable closing your eyes and putting a hand on your heart and a hand on your intuition, wherever you feel that in, and just breathing in and let not just breathing in, but let that breath of God breathe you. And in this very moment, knowing that there is only one life, one energy, one heartbeat, one breath. And that this is the divine, in, as, and through us. In this moment, I speak my word for the highest and best good of this time, knowing that what was needed to be healed and revealed was. And that we take from this time exactly what we need and bring it forth into our life, our days, to our tribe, to our animals, to our dreams. And for this, I am so grateful. And I send blessings out to leaders and teachers of all faiths everywhere, all government officials, both in our country and the other countries surrounding us, throughout the world, knowing that the divine is working in, as and through each and every one, even if it doesn't appear that way to us. And that our humor is raised. Our frequencies are raised. That breath, yep, that one right there, changes the world. And for this, I am so grateful. I say thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. I let it go. I call it good. And together we say,
And
so it is.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Good. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
How can we support you?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for asking. Well, we first of all love it if you would share this service with others through the different feeds that you're watching it on.
Mhm.
We'd love it if you'd like it, share it, comment. That
And
helps.
subscribe. Like and
please
subscribe.
subscribe. That
Yes.
helps them know that we've got something going on here. And then these
Exactly.
algorithms will share it also. So that is a huge help to us.
And if you would like to donate, whether one time or every month, to become a Spiritual Church Club partner, it costs you just a mere $45 a
I know.
month. Do you know how many Starbucks that actually is? It's like 3. So
It's not bad. I mean,
it's not bad.
but you get new things. Like we get our mugs, our partners get mugs and our journals for the year.
Exactly.
Our concert that's coming up is free. Like
If
that's-
we're ever doing workshops or
Workshops,
classes
book
that
studies, yes.
Michelle or I do, they're all free to our partners.
Right,
So
yeah.
there are benefits, and you can help bring us and our ministry forward with that. So it's $45 for an individual, $75 for a couple or family. Or if you'd like to just make a one-time donation, we'll put that to good use too.
Right. So if you feel like today was helpful to you, if you felt like you were spiritually nourished in any way, we would appreciate that kind of support, because
Yes.
that's how we grow our ministry. That's how we can keep getting bigger here and doing more things for our partners. So we appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. Well, next week,
Next week,
same time, same bat channel.
same bat time, same bat
Okay,
channel.
we'll be here next week to see you.
So bye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.